Why is it that women's groups always make being a woman sound like a disability? Even though I understand what they mean the system is keeping women down, man. It's still very hard for me to get past their presentation. These folks are trying to tackle and address bias or prejudice, but instead, somehow you always end up with fucking special needs posters like this. Women are capable of so many great things, and witnessing this creativity firsthand is inspiring and encourages challenge. Charlotte here was born with half a brain, and she can still have a good time in the balloon and music room. You see what I mean? It's got that "you should respect retards" vibe. Makes me think, why would you have to say that? And I think the implication's meant to be, in spite of what society might have you think. But coupled with that picture, it's given me that people with brain damage can do amazing things kind of feel. But they're not talking about a mental disability, they're talking about womanhood. Now I think there's a general trend of this, but let's zoom in on the organization that made that picture. Why would women in music and art, this group, want being a woman to sound like some kind of birth defect? The kind of thing you might need to donate money to help with. Oh right, yeah, of course. They want you to donate to them. In this instance, to help them create an exclusive space for females. Alright, don't rush to conclusions, don't have a knee-jerk reaction. They have made an entire video explaining why this is a good idea. Let's hear them out.
Creating a space for women, especially by women, is just a good thing.
You heard her, it just is. End of discussion. It is a fact, and it has been independently verified by the woman sitting behind her. You know what else is good? Stuff that is for me. That kind of stuff is fucking fantastic. Other people giving me stuff is just brilliant. And that should really be enough motivation for you to do it.
You can't have growth or evolution if you're not supporting women.
That's why misogynistic babies just stay small, and stuff like the gender wage gap is why mankind hasn't adapted into being super beings.
If you're not supporting their politics and their intersection.
I think that's a euphemism for political lesbians scissoring. Wouldn't necessarily be against funding that, but based on the people we've seen so far, I'm not feeling it. I'm sorry, but I don't think seeing these guys sweatily intersect for political reasons would be that hot. The sex appeal route isn't drawing me in. What else have you guys got?
The space that you can go to feel comfortable in.
It's called a bedroom.
And to feel safe and to feel like you can network with people and get successful opportunities out of that.
Well, okay, those expectations escalated quite quickly. I too would quite like it if there were a place I could go to just have success handed to me. Most of us have to settle for something less spectacular though. In your case, I think you should settle for something much simpler, like a suicide booth.
We know what our needs are and we're able to work together to try and...
Glad to hear you don't actually need my money.
The more spaces that we have for female artists, the more that it becomes a norm that female artists are important.
Because that is, of course, how it works. The more common something is, the more valuable it's perceived to be. Don't focus on your artistry and become skilled beyond anyone else. Don't create a masterpiece that draws everyone's eyes for its beauty or deep meaning that couldn't be conveyed through another medium. Do not excel. Just take up fucking space until you can't be ignored. And ask strangers to fund that because it's just a good thing. Fuck me, I wasn't supposed to get annoyed at this one, but if somehow a reverse miracle happens and these people get funded, I might just change my mind about not burning art.
It's not recognized how difficult it is for literally 50% of our population.
Because you see, being born having and growing up with a dick gives men an unfair advantage because we have a head start on developing accuracy when holding something like a paintbrush.
This is a male-dominated landscape.
Especially the music industry and art industry really just caters towards males.
Assuming that's true, which I don't know or care, why is that an issue for this hive mind of women?
It makes me feel like I have more that I need to strive to that is impossible because I'm not a man and I'm not white.
Okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but it sounds an awful lot to me like they're saying, here's a belief I have. I know it's irrational, here's why I think it, but I'm still gonna let it affect me. Let me explain. Let's say someone is just feeling like, I can't do this because I'm not a guy and I'm not white. Once they figure out why they feel that way, you know, that they're deeply fucked up and seeing someone else do something makes them feel like they can't do it. Once you understand what's going on, once you realize that you're one of these apparently increasingly numerous broken people, you must also understand that the problem is with you, and you can't continue to use it as an excuse for not reaching your potential, or as the reason people should support you, because after you've solved that, if you haven't sorted out what's wrong with you, something else is just going to be that thing in your way. And I imagine you'd have another fundraiser, and another, and another might even become a way of life. And then one day, while you're setting up an Indiegogo campaign for your coffin, you're gonna think, fuck, I should have just done something. I'm not gonna keep just plowing through this bit by bit. Time for the juiciest chunks of what's left.
It's not only about creating female-centric spaces.
Gynocentrism. Quick, sound the MGTOW alarm.
That is important. It's also about integrating women into the general sphere of the arts and the music, which is something that we don't really have.
Maybe one day a woman will be allowed to draw something. As it is now, just because you have a vagina, you try to buy some pencils, it'll get slapped out of your hands. Try to upload your work onto the internet, you'll suddenly be cut off. And try to sell anything, the government will hunt you down. Okay, straight up, I have no fucking idea what she's talking about, and I don't think she does either.
Cis women, trans women, non-binary women, gender-neutral women.
Pineapple women, lemon women, coconut women, pepper women, woman soup, woman stew, woman salad, woman and potatoes, woman burger, woman sandwich. Fuck off. Next person.
Having a lot of like female run spaces is super rad, but
Super rad. Why don't they just sell the time machine they used to get this person to the modern day? Right, screw it, I'm done with this. If this wasn't too painful, subscribe, like. Tell me in the comments why you need a female-centric space. But before I go, here's one last thing. Did you notice they weren't showing any art? My understanding is that this is them asking for money to help them organize exhibitions, live performances, and workshops. Show me some goddamn art. How are people going to know it's worth putting the money into you guys and not something else, right? At the very least, break out the fucking crayons. You have put this out there for the world to see and to convince us to support you, to give you money. You've shown us a bunch of dirty wood. It's not very enticing, and I doubt it would move me even if I were part of your community. But hey, maybe I'm just biased due to my personal experience. You see, when it comes to making money off of creative stuff on the internet, I'm more used to the approach of, here's something cool that you might like. If you want it, there are links in the description.